NBA Domination begins. Logan unlocks full-level Aomine Daiki skills. Episode 61. Although the situation facing the Timberwolves is not optimistic now. But Tom Thibodeau still had a trick at the bottom of the box that he didn't use. As we all know, Thibodeau is notoriously fond of letting his players play too long. The most typical example is when the Bulls are tired and Derrick Rose is injured. After coming to the Timberwolves, Thibodeau hadn't used these young men very fiercely. The team did fall behind in the first quarter. But most of the lag was caused by Logan's presence. As the second quarter of the game starts, Logan will definitely rest off the court. Make full use of this time to let the Timberwolves' 3 less fire line debut, the offensive end to chase the point difference, and even complete the counter overtaking, laying the advantage. This is Thibodeau's approach. Fierce chow Timberwolves, 3 less. All our young people, play more than 10 minutes of game, no problem. The break ended quickly, and the two sides came on in the second quarter. To the surprise of the sideline narrator, the Lakers normally send rotation players. The Timberwolves let Sancho return to the field. The Minnesota Timberwolves have no intention of giving the 3 young men a break. They use the team's starting line to play with the Lakers' rotational lineup, and the advantage is visible to the naked eye. But won't that make the core of the team physically drain too much? Afraid of anything, Andrew, they're all young players, consuming a few more minutes won't get in the way at all. 2 senior commentators analyze the Timberwolves platoon at the beginning of the second section. In their view, the Timberwolves are taking advantage of the team's absolute youth and physical fitness at all 3 cores. In layman's terms, it is, young people don't talk about martial arts. In fact, the Timberwolves did get into shape quickly on the offensive end at the start of the second quarter. Zach LaVine worked high with Wiggins, and Karl Anthony Towns did whatever he wanted on the inside, single-handedly blowing up Black Blake Jr. The double-digit advantage established by the Lakers in the first quarter was instantly approached by the Timberwolves. Beep. Seeing that the team's advantage was gone, Luke Walton on the sidelines quickly called a timeout. Interrupt the momentum of the Timberwolves' attack, and at the same time replace Russell plus Lon Bean, hoping to stabilize the situation. Unfortunately, just Russell plus Londo is not a full-fledged opponent of the Timberwolves at all. The two teams were tied by a margin, and Luke Walton could only take advantage of the dead ball round to get Logan back on the bandwagon. The Minnesota Timberwolves' tactics worked, and both teams went back to the same running line. But Logan is back on the court, and the Lakers are going to start fighting back. Back on the field early, Logan sorted out his coat corners. Since the 12-point advantage and the Timberwolves are chasing so fast, then they will create a bigger point difference. The Lakers' sideline ball is sent. Logan took the initiative to ask for the ball, and then received the ball outside the 3-point line and instantly changed direction. The amplitude was so great that it almost made LaVine, who had rushed to the horse, fall on his head. With a hesitation at his feet, LaVine had already been left behind by his opponent before he faced Logan. Andrew. Meanwhile, Thibodeau on the sidelines roared, alerting Wiggins to come up and make up for it. On speed, on athletic ability, on physical hardware, Wiggins may not lose Logan. I'll defend this ball. Wiggins simply abandoned his opponent and stopped in front of Logan. Boo. Logan is no more than BB, leaning on Wiggins, who is defending himself, and speeding up the strong kills on the inside. Step into the air. I'll come too. Under the basket, Downs, who had already taken a good position, also flew high from the other side. The 14th and 15th drafts, the 2 drafts, wrapped around Logan, are bound to block Logan's ball in the cradle. This is a real talent showdown, the future star of the 3 major alliances, the high-altitude showdown. In the middle of the 2 major UN show, Logan's tough body was not hindered in the slightest. Forcibly separate the defender and slam the ball into the basket with one arm. Toot. At the same time, the referee on the sidelines directly blew the whistle in his hand. Logan's goal not only worked for 2 points, but also caused a defensive foul on the side defender Wiggins, and he got a chance to make a free throw. Boom. Under the whistle, Downs and Wiggins, who flew up, were unstable in their center of gravity and both fell to the ground. Instead, Logan, who was caught in the middle, landed steadily, looking down at the 2 leaders who had fallen to the ground. Like the god of war. Oh. My. God. Gauze. Look what you did. The next moment, D'Angelo Russell rushed straight to Logan's side and collided with him passionately. You've shattered their basketball dreams. My brother, your dunk is too exaggerated, too exaggerated, too exaggerated. Little Nance also rushed up at the first time and hugged Logan fiercely. Rao, the son of the Dunk King, was also deeply shocked by Logan's ball. Single-handedly, angrily buckled the Timberwolves' double shape. Rogan looked down on the two fallen lords. This ball has to be recorded in the NBA famous scene. This is Logan. Maggie, what am I talking about? In the audience, the magician's friend danced. Even if the three boys of the Timberwolves are combined, they are not as good as Rogan. Is this still what you say? Magic John sent the same excited stand. Michael, do you think Logan has a Rambo feeling for this ball? Rambo is the ultimate tough guy image in the classic movie, First Blood. Rogan's ball angrily slammed the double head, and landed smoothly, looking down on the image of Downs plus Wiggins, and the manliness was full. Of course I feel that way. If I could, I even wanted Ro to star in a movie with me. The magician's best friend is the famous Michael Sylvester Stallone. Sylvester Stallone, who has played countless real man-screen roles, was also conquered by Rogan's tough performance on the court. Death Squad is missing a character, you know what I mean, Maggie. Sylvester Stallone half-jokingly said, we have one less character named Logan. The magician and Stallone laughed on the sidelines. The Timberwolves on the field are 3 young, and they can't laugh. Logan played a 2+1 and scored 3 points first. Then on the defensive end, he gave Downs on the inside a hat. In the words of the Celestial Dynasty fans, Minnesota is too cold, and a hot pot is necessary. Complete the block, the Lakers counterattack the round, Logan frontcourt 1v2, continuous turn plus change direction, do not slow down to advance to the front court, fly heavy deduction and take 2 points. The entire second half of the second quarter almost became Logan's solo performance. He shot a single shot in a row, hit 16 points in a row, and single-handedly hit the Timberwolves with a 16:0 offensive blaster. With Logan making up a strong dunk on Downs' head, he scored the 18th point in the second quarter. After the two sides drew in the second quarter, the Lakers played a 24:3 offensive shockwave. Instantly widened the point difference to 21 points. Rogan, also at halftime, blasted 40 points. If 12 points isn't safe enough, Logan will give you a 21-point lead. The Timberwolves were forced to pause, and the narrator on the sidelines splattered, this is incredible, Logan's destructive power alone exceeds the sum of the 3 core players of the Timberwolves. Logan is completely unreasonable, this is too cruel. The other narrator didn't know what to say. The Timberwolves' 3 young second quarter on the opening is not talking about martial arts? In his opinion, Logan came up with a wave of 16:0. This is called not talking about martial arts. Episode 62. Rogan's sudden lack of martial arts in the second quarter broke the psychological defense line of the Minnesota Timberwolves. They struggled hard for a tie in the half quarter. It was easily pulled apart again by Rogan, and it was super doubled, directly into a huge 21-point difference. 12 points and 21 points, but not just the other way around. The 12-point difference is nothing in the NBA. But 21 points is almost the difference between 2 teams that are not in the same class. And this point difference is only Rogan led the team to play in half a quarter. Downs, Wiggins, and Levine were speechless in the locker room at the Staples Center. Their mentality has collapsed. Get your spirits up, guys. Tom Thibodeau is still working the output. He hoped that through his own roar, he would awaken the silent 3-headed wolf in front of him. Unfortunately, the 3 in front of him were not wolves, but huskies. In the end, Minnesota Husky collapsed in the City of Angels. The Los Angeles Lakers won the so-called talent battle in their home court with a 33-point advantage over their opponents. Ha ha ha, I love Logan, Maggie, I have to find a chance to have a meal with him. At the end of the game, Stallone in the audience patted Maggie on the shoulder, man, you know, I have 3 daughters, The magician had wanted to give Stallone a thread. As a result, when he heard that he had 3 daughters, he instantly wanted to squirt out an MMP. Maggie's son, don't mention it. I have every reason to believe that the Lakers and Timberwolves will be the representatives of talent in the next 5 to 10 years. At the same time, the whole game is over. The narrator on the sidelines concluded, this game, and maybe even some year in the future, an early preview of the Western Conference Finals. The Minnesota Timberwolves have 3 talented youngsters, while the Los Angeles Lakers have Logan. In the narrator's opinion, the Timberwolves have now lost. But their future is immeasurable. Similarly, the Lakers own Logan. Not only the present, but the future. Today's failure is not a bad thing for us. In the post-game interview, Timberwolves coach Thibodeau found another angle. We have overflowing talent, proper failure, the experience of these talented players. Even if he is a young genius, how can he become a super giant of the league without knocking and knocking? Especially after playing with players who are also geniuses, failure can inspire the determination of these young people to struggle. In particular, Thibodeau clearly saw that losing this game had changed the look in Andrew Wiggins' eyes. This 14-year-old talent may really want to smash the Goji Berry Cup. So sometimes failure is not without benefits. At the end of the interview, Thibodeau showed a smile full of meaning. The Lakers have Logan, we have Andrew, Carl and Zach. We all have a bright future. Today's game, even if Logan wins. Future games, the Timberwolves may not necessarily lose. Of course, Thibodeau probably didn't expect that. Huskies are always Huskies. Only suitable for selling cuteness, not suitable for biting. The battle of talents? I only saw the talent in Rogan. At the evening tea, NT symposium, Charles Buckley directly continued his usual harshness. Andrew Wiggins, that's also called talent? Jumping men in the NBA will not have a prospect. Karl Anthony Towns didn't play dominance on the inside at all. Shaq, you know what I mean, he's not as good as you. He's not as good as you? The Shark thought that sounded weird. As for Zach LaVine, I don't think he's even qualified to be on the list of this talent battle. Buckley waved his hand. Get rid of it. Do you really think that the Dunk King is a symbol of strength? If Logan wants to, he can win the All-Star Slam Dunk contest and get the hand. Fliggy can be said to be in full fire tonight. The amount of information he output this time is simply explosive. First, he blew a wave of Logan as usual. Immediately afterward, he repeated the Timberwolves' three-headed Huskies, one diss after another. There was also a wave of Sharks in hand. Key, don't six. Finally, Barkley also built momentum for Logan to participate in this season's All-Star Slam Dunk contest. LaVine was blown up by Logan today. But his dunk contest performance is absolutely historic. Logan's dunk contest showdown with LaVine is also worth looking forward to. I totally agree with you, Charles. I suddenly felt that Logan was an artifact to ease the relationship between us. Shaquille O'Neal added, it's a pity you don't have a championship, otherwise I might change my mind about you. The two fat men began the traditional art of art, mutual loss mode. Tonight's TNT Symposium also became the highest-rated TV show of the night. On the other side, after finishing the game and returning to the residence, Logan received a call after washing up. On the other end of the phone, it is no one else, it is the Laker-famous magician John News. After briefly expressing his fondness for Logan, the magician moved straight to the point. Luo, have you seen First Blood? And The Deathmatch? Of course, I don't think anyone has seen these two movies. Then you must know Michael Stallone. Of course, I know him, but he doesn't know me. Cough cough. Maggie was choked up by Rogan's words. Michael wants to invite you to the filming of Daredevil 4 and make a cameo. Although he was broken by Stallone's words, the magician was still very generous. Let a line for Logan and Stallone to get to know each other, and maybe even let Logan and Stallone's 3 daughters get to know each other. It's not a bad thing. Maybe Logan is because of his phone call tonight. I don't mind making a cameo if I can. Logan was also surprised. He noticed Stallone on the sidelines today. But unexpectedly, Stallone actually wanted to invite himself to participate in the big IP of the Death Squad. Not only is it a cameo movie, he also wants to introduce his daughter to you. The magician gave Logan a preventive injection. He has 3 daughters. I know. Logan was very impressed with Stallone's 3 daughters. As a veteran online reader in a past life, Logan did not know how many basketball novels he had read. Stallone's 3 daughters as the heroine, almost all kinds of basketball texts, are the basis of exercises. But now this plot development point of view. Do you want to reproduce the route of those basketball novels? Heavenly Dynasty Network text, honestly do not deceive me. After casually greeting the magician, Logan hung up the phone, and before he could get back on bed, the phone rang again. It wasn't anyone else who called, it was Rogan's agent, Tyler Finson. Luo, the contract of Patek Philippe is sent back to the headquarters and has officially come into effect. Finson's joy almost spilled over from the other end of the phone. Congratulations, from now on, you officially become Mr. Billion Yuan. Patek Philippe is worthy of being the emperor of the table. They not only provided Logan with a contract of 100 million yuan after tax. He even airlifted 100 watches and delivered them directly to Logan's house early the next morning. In an email sent by Patek Philippe to Logan, they also stated, these watches, if Logan likes it, take it, if you don't like it, collect it or give it away, it doesn't matter. Rich, just so willful. Episode 63. The news that Patek Philippe directly airlifted a bunch of famous watches to Rogan's doorstep soon dominated the news headlines in the United States. Obviously, for the first spokesperson in the history of the brand, Patek Philippe is definitely treated full. Rogan, it is said that there are only 300 watches in the world with this Patek Philippe. Los Angeles, Staples Center. Russell, who came to the stadium early to train, held his mobile phone and leaned over to Rogan. This is it, limited to the local luxury gold. They gave me one of this. Logan glanced at it, making sure it was the style and color matching that he was familiar with. What's more, this limited edition watch is numbered on it. 007/300 special symbol. Logan is still a bit impressed. I rely on, won't I, grab the number limited edition that can't be grabbed, actually gave you one? D'Angelo Russell admired Logan's fine body pitch. To be a spokesperson for Patek Philippe is to do whatever you want. What about this one? It has been discontinued in 10 years, and only 3,000 out-of-print products are sold worldwide. Russell is still a little unconvinced. Don't look at this guy who has more circulation than the previous one. The new model that has been retained until now is absolutely non-existent. The latest limited edition, Patek Philippe gave Logan one, which is reasonable. This out-of-print limited edition that has long been discontinued. Russell didn't believe Logan could still have it. Is this box special? Yes, this first-year box is special, and Patek Philippe only uses the special packaging on this watch. When this watch was first released, the special packaging box on the outside alone was speculated to a sky-high price. In order to ensure its compulsion, Patek Philippe, even this box, have been discontinued. That should also be on the list of gifts. Logan didn't hesitate. I saw this box in the morning. See the box? This kind of sky-high luxury watch. Logan actually just casually glanced at the box. Luo, how can you bear not to take it apart and look at it? Even the little Nance who was watching Logan pretend/forced couldn't help but say, if this thing is in front of me, I would like to take a picture and send 100 tweets. Don't bother to tear it down, they send too many watches. Rogan responded while throwing a three-pointer. Seriously, just counting the numbers and checking the list wastes a lot of time. There are at least a dozen special boxes like this. Do I have to open them one by one and look at them? To be honest, Logan still had the idea of taking it apart at first. For example, if the global limit is limited to 300 pieces, he will see the detailed number. The point is, Patek Philippe sent too many watches. And each one retains the first-year packaging at the time of release. How much time does it take to take this apart? Logan simply glanced at it and left it all in the storage room. I'll see it later when I'm free. After listening to Rogan's explanation, Russell and Nance Jr., their faces were confused. People really can't generalize with each other. Logan was actually dismissive of those famous watches worth millions of dollars. But think of Rogan's assets now exceeded 100 million. Endorsement contracts are higher than NBA annual salaries. Russell and Nance Jr. were relieved. Logan is qualified to be dismissive of Patek Philippe's limited edition table. Well, lads, don't look at Logan's Patek Philippe. Even when Russell and Nance Jr. were still surprised by Rogan's watch collection. Lakers coach Luke Walton clapped his hands and signaled the players to start today's in-team training. Immediately afterward, Walton looked for Logan alone. Rogan, General Manager Mitch Kupchak is looking for you to go to the office. Now? Logan stopped his training, but the team training has just begun. You don't need to train, that's the consensus that the team management just reached. Luke Walton glanced at the core of the team. Don't tell me what this level of training will do to you. A player of Rogan's level, ordinary team training, doesn't help at all. Their own private training, as well as the joint training with various celebrities, is the fastest way to improve. Therefore, the Lakers management made it clear in this morning's meeting, Rogan's non-participation in team training is entirely up to his own desires. He thought, just participate. If you don't want to, give him a holiday. At first, some management personnel said, is it too much of an exaggeration to give a rookie player this level of treatment? But Mitch Kupchak directly pushed the crowd out. If you can also lead the team to the best starting record in the history of the team, I can also give you paid leave every day. After a casual remark with Walton and saying goodbye to the team manager, Logan went upstairs and went to the team management office. Mitch Kupchak saw Logan's arrival and personally got up and motioned for Logan to sit casually. After a brief exchange of views on the team's recent situation, Kupchak went straight to the point. Rogan, at the management meeting this morning, we passed two decisions. The first is that Logan can arrange time at will for in-team training. As long as it does not affect the normal play of the team, he can do whatever he wants in terms of training. This may be the first time in the history of the Los Angeles Lakers that a player has been given this level of privilege. Kupchak quipped, the second thing. The team's goal this season is no longer to train young players. Rogan, from now on, the pressure on you will be greater. Our goal is to hit the playoffs, and even in the playoffs, to achieve better results. So far, the Lakers are still the only team in the league to maintain an unbeaten record. The morale of the whole team is in full swing, and the goal should be improved. To that end, the team management is ready to try to strengthen the team as much as possible. Kupchak said, we would also like to hear your advice on reinforcements. Any resources of the team other than you can be put into reinforcement trades. In addition to Logan, the Lakers' entire team is on the shelf. Including trading managers? Of course, if you have the right person, I can tell Luke to get out of the way now. Kupchak is not an idiot. He could see at a glance that the team's winning streak so far this season had nothing to do with Luke Wharton. Grandma O'Neal can also come to coach and win in a row. What's the big deal about changing coaches? Of course, Kupchak also knew that Logan was joking. Logan was also amused by Siyu Zhong's decisiveness. Maybe Ku always doesn't know that he really has the intention of changing the coach. The two smiling tigers each had their own hearts. Logan and Kupchak casually ripped their skins and prepared to leave. By the way, Rogan, there's one more thing I forgot to tell you. Kupchak suddenly remembered, the next game, we are going to face the Boston Celtics at home. Yellow-green war. This kind of fatalistic duel is indeed worth paying attention to. The yellow-green war is not the point. Kupchak saw through Logan's thoughts. The point is, the next game, Kobe Bryant is coming to Staples to watch the game. Episode 64. The Boston Celtics and Los Angeles Lakers are definitely two of the most legendary teams in NBA history. Not one of them. In ancient times, between the Lakers and the Celtics, there were countless stories of enmity. Bill Russell and Jerry West. Poor Elgin Baylor. In the 1980s, Big Bird Bird and Magic Johnson fought against the Magic Bird, continuing the story of the feud between Lake Kai. In the new century, the Celtics defeated the Lakers in 2008 to win the championship. In 10 years, the Lakers achieved revenge, defeated the Green Army, and achieved consecutive championships. Between the Lakers and the Celtics, there is a love-hate feud that cannot be completed in several books. Although the Lakers and Celtics have performed more crotch in recent seasons, they have completely lost their previous glory. But the yellow-green battle every season is still the focus of attention of fans on both sides. November 17, United States time. Los Angeles, Staples Center. Before the game began, outside the stadium, a large number of Lakers fans had gathered. Most of them are wearing the Lakers number 7 jersey for the new season. There are also many fans, also wearing the Lakers classic golden 24 number 24 jersey. Logan will be the cornerstone of the Los Angeles Lakers after Kobe. I always believed that Logan could succeed Kobe. Logan will be another league-leading shooting guard in Lakers history. Lakers fans outside the stadium were excited to be interviewed before the game. Obviously, they don't know what kind of characters are still in today's yellow-green war. In the Lakers locker room, Luke Walton is also talking to his players about the team's tactical layout for this game. Immediately afterward, there was a knock at the door. Walton quickly stepped forward to open the door, excitedly embracing the man who had entered the locker room. Oh wow. WTF. Oh. My God, seeing the players hugging the team manager, the entire Lakers locker room exploded. Because it is no one else who comes to the locker room, it is the Lakers legend superstar who just retired last season, Kobe Bryant. Since retiring, this is the first time that Kobe Bryant has returned to the Lakers home locker room after a gap of 7 months. Except for Rogan, all the Lakers players didn't know Kobe Bryant would be here today. Russell, Randu, and Clarkson, who had been teammates with him, rushed up to greet Kobe Bryant. Old Dang too, who had almost been a teammate with Kobe, also went up to hug Kobe and chatted with each other. Of course, Kobe Bryant eventually found Logan. I'm glad you chose the Los Angeles Lakers. Greeting Rogan, Kobe Bryant smiled, you're a real Laker, lead the team to win all the time. Los Angeles need a new idol, and the Lakers are waiting for the next championship trophy. Leave it to me. Logan stood up and hugged Kobe, wrap it around me, I believe you can. Bryant patted the junior's back, prove it to me. Russell and others, who were watching from the sidelines, envied Logan's treatment under the real name system. Kobe's rhetoric of reviving the glory of the Lakers was not heard by them last season. It seems that people really can't be compared with people. Man is more angry than man. By the way, Gianna wants to take a picture with you. After explaining the future of the team, Kobe Bryant still focused more on his family. Gianna Bryant, or Gigi, who had been following Kobe, stepped forward and took a picture with Rogan. A signature was also required. Luo, you play much better than my father. Taking advantage of Kobe's lack of attention, Gigi leaned over to Rogan's ear, I am now your fan, my teammates and my team, and you are also your loyal Iron fans, so. Can you sign a few more copies? I heard that Gianna Bryant was coming to see Rogan's game. Her teammates on her team asked her to get a few more signatures. This year. Who isn't a star-chasing girl yet? Logan was handsome, and his skills exploded like this. If you don't deserve his fan, you are simply blind. Of course not. Logan signed a few more autographs and gave them to Gigi. The little girl's eyes lit up with joy. There's nothing more gratifying than success in chasing stars. Don't lose to the Boston team, Ro. Kobe Bryant still left some time for Walton Jr., and before leaving, pointed to Logan, anyway, blow them up. With this sentence aside, Kobe forcibly dragged away his daughter. Dad, Logan is really handsome. Forcibly dragged away, Gianna still looked like a fan. From now on, I want to watch his game and learn his skills. Gigi, do you think I don't understand balls? Kobe laughed awkwardly. The top 10 players in NBA history are all around you, and the result is a rookie fan don't want it. Who is this looking for? No, I just think Logan plays better than you. Gianna Bryant turned her head. Dad, recognize the reality, it's Logan's time. You're old. Listening to his daughter's speech, the black mamba on the court, who no one obeyed, was a little helpless. He really began to regret taking Gigi to Staples to watch Logan's live game. Soon, the players on both sides finished their pre-match tactical preparations and walked out of the players' aisles individually. During the player introduction, Logan enjoyed the biggest fan cheers. There's no doubt that Logan is the new darling of Los Angeles. He deserves this level of cheering. The two commentators on the sidelines wanted to say something, and as a result, the Staples Center erupted into even more enthusiastic cheers. A large number of Lakers fans excitedly pulled out their mobile phones and shot at the suit man who came out of the entrance of the Lakers player passage. Just like the Lakers all but Logan, no one knew Kobe Bryant would come today. The Lakers fans in the whole field did not know that Kobe Bryant would actually come to the scene today to watch the Lakers vs Celtics nemesis. Oh, I read that right. That's Kobe Bryant. How long have we not seen him in Staples? The former hero of the Staples Center has finally appeared for the first time in the arena he once dominated after retiring. The two senior commentators were also shocked by Kobe's appearance. The appearance of the flying man is too sudden, too surprising. In the enthusiastic cheers of the fans, Kobe Bryant also gladly accepted the pre-match interview of the media. Of course, the most frequently asked questions by reporters was about Logan. Bryant, is this the first time you've returned to Staples Center since you retired and stopped coming here as a Lakers player? Would you feel different? Of course, it's a special feeling to be here as a fan. So, have you paid any attention to the Lakers' performance this season? The team hasn't lost so far this season, and they've even broken the 9-1 start you once led the team to create. Logan, the team's supernova this season, what do you think of his performance? The reporters' questions are like a cannonball, and they don't stop at all. This last question, in particular, made Kobe both hesitate for a moment. Under Logan's leadership, the Lakers have every ability to impact better results this season. Have you ever thought about coming back, assisting young Logan, and embarking on the road to the championship? Episode 65. To be honest, after retiring, I rarely paid attention to the Lakers games. In the face of reporters' question-and-answer questions, Kobe calmly replied, but as Logan became famous in the league, I also began to pay attention to this young and fierce character. As for Logan's performance this season, I don't think I need to evaluate. Look at what he's already done. The league's 3 weekly best is the best assessment of Logan's season. Kobe's meaning is also very simple. He didn't have to judge Logan's performance. Being elected best of the week for 3 consecutive weeks is already the official evaluation of his best. About the comeback. Kobe just hesitated. The fans at the scene began to roar in an instant. Come back. Bryant, we need you. Bryant, come back and win the championship together. We have Logan, we miss you. Staples Lakers fans can't forget the good times when Kobe Bryant played here. Now Kobe Bryant has only been retired for 7 months, and it is absolutely no problem to expedite training. What's more, Kobe Bryant's last game of retirement also exploded by 60 points. He definitely still had stock in his tank. Regarding the comeback, I have no plans for this for the time being. Looking at the fans with a smile, Kobe Bryant waved, I have retired, let me enjoy the life of a normal person. Kobe Bryant has gradually turned into a dagger. The comeback will basically only be YY in the hearts of fans. As the saying goes, the wolf retreats from the snake and hides the Buddha to the west, only the old driver remains. At the end of the interview with Kobe, the attention of the fans on the scene was still focused on both sides of today's game. Although fans are expecting Kobe Bryant's comeback. But today's protagonist should be both sides of the game. Kobe Bryant seems hopeless to make a comeback. Fans should look ahead, not to mention, the Lakers already have a bright future this season. 2 commentators on the scene brought the topic back to the game itself. This is the first yellow-green battle of Logan's career. Let's see, he's in this game under the watchful eye of Kobe Bryant and Magic Johnson. What kind of report card can I hand over? The live broadcast footage was given to the sidelines. Bryant happened to be sitting next to magician John Summon. The two Lakers whispered and laughed out loud. The pre-match warm-up between the two sides ended quickly, with two team starters standing on the pitch. The Lakers' starting starts are still the following: Russell plus Ingram plus Randu plus Nance Jr. and Rogan. The Celtics starters were Isaiah Thomas plus Avery Bradley plus Jaylen Brown plus Taylor Zeller and Amir John. The two center forwards stand on the center line. The referee threw the ball high. Nance Jr. defeated Amir Johnson and took the lead in handing the ball to Russell. The Lakers dominate the offensive ball of the opening first attack. Russell quickly held the ball through the half, saw Logan in mid-range back to the ball, decisively hit the ball to the ground. Boo! The basketball began, and Logan carried his back to defend himself Avery Bradley. Then, quickly turn around and meet Bradley, who pounced out. The limit lies flat and back, high arc, and shoots through the net. 2-0. The Lakers took the lead in opening the situation. Wonderful back-to-back shot. Logan's back-to-back range is too exaggerated. Of course, this ball Rogan shot on the ground, it is really the limit. Rogan's backrest is definitely a tribute to Kobe Bryant on the sidelines, but his ball is more difficult than most of Kobe Bryant's backs. The two commentators on the sidelines spoke quickly. Back-to-back jumper, especially back-to-back jumper, is certainly Kobe Bryant's signature move. And Kobe Bryant is still the kind of high-difficulty back-to-back jump shot that has to create difficulty without difficulty. Logan opened this ball, already Kobe's internal taste, even a little beyond Kobe's taste. "Dad," I said, "Logan is much cooler than you." Gianna Bryant on the sidelines clapped her hands excitedly. "See this back? Young is willful." "Alright, don't say it." Bryant dotingly rubbed his daughter's head. "Have you really never seen your father play?" "I've seen that Logan is more handsome." Gigi's mouth was still shattered. Bryant laughed too. To be able to see the future of the Lakers is bright. Black Mamba is also happy not to do. Offensive and defensive conversions. Celtics attack. Thomas Jr. held the ball through the half, borrowed cover, and then hit the middle distance. After hitting the ball, Thomas Jr. had a fierce look in his eyes. The whole world thinks that the protagonist of today's yellow-green war is Logan. Thomas Jr. was the first to disagree. Today, he is going to smash Logan's field in front of Kobe and the magician. Next round. Logan is still low back strong to eat Avery Bradley. One turn plus emergency stop to swing the defender out 3 steps away. Bradley's reaction to the ball was actually very quick. But Rogan's emergency stop was too sudden, and Bradley couldn't even break too late, so he could only watch Rogan's empty seat and shoot again. Back in the day, Thomas Jr. still used the block to get rid of the defense. But before he could look up at the frame, Rogan's defensive body had completely enveloped him. Logan's co-defense is coming. His co-defense speed is too fast. Isaiah Thomas missed the best time to shoot. And Logan's arm span height completely suppressed Isaiah Thomas, and the Celtics' outside core simply couldn't shoot. Thomas Jr.'s offensive ability is really strong. But his biggest problem was too short. The strongest on the surface is 175, and it is true that there are only 175. Logan is 1.98 meters and has an arm span of 2.12 meters. Completely enveloping Thomas Jr. is not a matter at all. What's more, Logan can easily kill Thomas Jr. in terms of speed and bounce. The Celtics core even passes the ball before it can be passed out. But would Logan let Thomas Jr. escape from his hunting ring so easily? Obviously not. At the same time that Thomas jumped up to pass, Logan flew up, as if completing the block, and took Thomas's basketball directly into his arms. Oh, what the hell is Rogan's ball? Or is it a steal? Leave this alone. Logan finished the interception and switched offense. He has already counterattacked the frontcourt and taken off to dunk. The two commentators on the sidelines were too late to explain. Logan, who completed the interception, decisively switched from defense to attack, counterattacked the front court in 4 seconds, and took off in 2 steps within the free throw line. Grab the ball with one hand and burn it to the sky. Furious chop, joggery peak. If you're not the second highest peak in the world or what's going on, then now, you know it. Episode 66, Explosive Snap. I think Logan's participation in the dunk contest is already a foregone conclusion. What's more, I think Logan has pre-booked this season's All-Star Slam Dunk contest. It may depend on whether Zach Lavin and Aaron Gordon will compete. Wouldn't you, man, think Zach Lavin and Aaron Gordon could beat Logan in a dunk contest? Don't be funny. Staples Center, Los Angeles. The two commentators on the scene have skipped the game and directly started predicting this season's All-Star Slam Dunk contest. In their view, a flying supernova of Rogan's level does not participate in the dunk contest. It's a violent thing. Don't cling to singles, pass the ball more and get the ball moving. Celtics junior Stevens on the sidelines was a bit anxious. Thomas Jr. is really good at singles. But it's easy to get on top. Playing with emotions is not a good thing. Fortunately, the little Thomas is not yet on top. Back on the offensive end, the strongest on the surface, 175 students, 2 Russell, and then passed the ball to Bradley on the outside. Avery Bradley faced Logan's defense with a grim look in his eyes and a resolute attitude. The ball was passed directly to Jalen Blang in the bottom corner. As the number 3 show of the 16th draft, the contrast between Blome and Ingram is also a hot topic of discussion among fans before the draft. This time the two were paired on the court for the first time, which also made the narrator say 2 more words. It's just that Blang is similar to Ingram. So far this season, the form has fluctuated a lot. In other words, today's game is more closed. Duong. The crisp mid-shot iron sounded, and the rebound was grabbed by Nance Jr. The Lakers pushed forward to counterattack, and Russell hit the ground with a long pass to find Logan, who counterattacked the front court. After the latter receives the ball, ignores the arm wrapped around his body, hangs the defender, takes 2 big steps, pulls the lever in the air, and puts the ball into the basket. Beep. The referee on the sidelines blew the whistle directly in his hand. Taylor Zeller defended the puller foul. Rogan's 2-point score is valid and he gets a penalty plus. WTF. Zeller cheekily theorized with the referee. The foul, he lost on the goal and failed to stop Rogan's momentum in scoring. It's a bit hard to top. Stevens on the sidelines also had no choice but to hold his head. Rogan, this can't be pulled down. The ball was scored, and Logan, who was the party concerned, spread his hands to the sidelines. No way, amorphous shooting sometimes, you can do whatever you want. What Logan means is that this level of defense can't do anything with him. That's right, look at the way he shows his hands, the Celtics defense is in big trouble. Of course, for the 2 commentators, Logan Stahl has countless ways to explain. The most obvious explanation for the barrage, of course, is, Logan despises the Celtics defense. Steady hits and penalties, playing 2+1, Logan's performance on the offensive end is still continuing. In the first quarter of the game, the Celtics offensive end, except for Thomas Jr., the rest of the people pulled the brakes. On the Lakers side, Logan not only blossomed on his own, but also accurately passed the ball after attracting the Celtics' defensive contraction to find Russell, who was ambushed on the outside. Not only Russell, but even the iron-headed Londo can turn smoothly after Rogan's small-scale hand-to-hand pass and violently buckle the frame. A roar ignites the atmosphere. The good yellow-green war, earth-shattering, turned out to be a one-man movie. At the Green Army pulling the gate, the Purple and Gold Army was in full bloom, and the morale was in full swing. The Lakers scored 32 points at home in a single quarter, allowing the Celtics to score only a pitiful 10 points. The 22-point difference in a single quarter net victory created the record for the largest point difference in a single quarter in the history of the Yellow-Green War. Not only that, but Logan scored 20 points in the first quarter. One person's single quarter score is twice as high as the entire Celtics team. He also set a personal single quarter scoring record in the history of the Yellow and Green Wars. I have a hunch. During the break, the narrator on the sidelines boldly said, "Today, there may be a tragedy, Yellow-Green Wars, this group of long-established duels. It may be that today, there will be the most crushing, the most one-sided, the biggest point difference in the war. I think at the beginning, the Celtics beat the Los Angeles Lakers on the stage of the 2008 finals. Maybe today, this shame, the Purple-Gold Army will return to the green shirts. Time to go back to the 07-08 season. That year's finals, the Boston Celtics triumvirate besieged Kobe Bryant. In the finals G6, the Green Army slaughtered the Lakers with a huge score difference of 39 points at their home 131-92 and won the championship of the season. The 39-point difference in the final match of the finals is not only the largest point difference record in the Yellow-Green War. At the same time, it is also the record for the largest point difference in the final game of the finals in the history of the NBA. On that day, the Lakers were permanently engraved on the pillar of shame. Even if the future Lakers succeed in revenge on the Celtics in the 10 finals and take back the championship. But the shame of the 39-point battle has not yet been washed away. In today's game, the Lakers not only have to win, but also may nail the Celtics to the column of shame. Wouldn't that be cruel? Are we going to win the Celtics 30 points? If that's cruel, I don't mind Logan being cruel. Better win them by 40 points, one more point than 39. It doesn't matter a little more, the Celtic are destined to be lambs to be slaughtered today, waiting for our slaughter. Lakers fans on the scene have begun to brainstorm the bloody results of the game. The picture is so beautiful, they can't miss it. Kobe, what do you think of Rogan? Listening to the crazy shouts of the Lakers fans around him, the magician asked the Black Mamba next to him, "Do you think he can support the future of the Lakers?" "I don't need to answer that question, Maggie." Bryant also looked around at the fanatical fans. The number of fans wearing the Lakers' number 7 jersey has gradually surpassed the number 24, number 8, number 34, and number 32. This is a signal. The Los Angeles Lakers, a traditional giant, is a signal of dynastic change. The new king ascends the throne right now. Episode 67. We can lose the game, lose this so-called yellow-green war. Staples Center, Los Angeles. Young Marshall Stevens, crouched on the ground, but I can't accept that you have lost so unresistantly. Losing is not terrible. A rout without resistance is a real failure. Stevens can accept failure, but he can't accept such failure. The Celtic generals just bowed their heads and didn't speak. Thomas Jr., who averaged 27 points per game this season, raised his head. He wanted to say something. But when the words came to his mouth, he swallowed them back. Don't look at his performance before today, fully worthy of the core banner of the Celtics. In Staples, the strongest 175 on the surface was lost in an instant. Thomas Jr. scored just 4 points in the first quarter. Since Logan began keeping an eye on him from all sides, Thomas Jr. hasn't been in shape on the offensive end. Avery Bradley was also speechless. He was blown up by Logan on both the offensive and defensive ends. Even Bradley felt that he was the biggest reason for the team's first quarter rout. The 16th number 3 show Jalen Blang has little say. Also 16th rookie. The gap between Brung and Logan is even greater than the gap between kindergartens and college students. The break ended quickly, and the second lineups of both sides were put on the lineup. It seems to be influenced by the first quarter of the game, the main players of the team. The three muskets of the Lakers' second lineup, at the beginning of the second quarter, did not mean to be soft at all. Reed plus Jan Shashia and Veen Ellington, who was gradually gaining a foothold, took turns to score 3 points and worked together to blast a 12-2 offensive shockwave. Instantly widened the point difference to 32 points. D'Angelo, have you heard of 58? Watching the team's rotation players not be soft at all, Logan, who was drinking water on the sidelines, simply chatted, "It is the biggest point difference in the history of the NBA playoffs." "I know, wasn't it Chris Paul's Hornets who were won by the Nuggets by 58 points? Russell still remembers these famous scenes. "Oh, it's the New Orleans Pelicans." Time to travel back in time to the 2008-2009 NBA. In the first round of the Western Conference playoffs, the Denver Nuggets vs. New Orleans Hornets. In Game 4 of the series, the Nuggets had a 22-point lead at halftime. And in the third quarter, the single quarter played a 27-11 disparity, taking a 38-point lead. In fact, in the fourth quarter of the game, both teams have replaced all the rotating players. But the Nuggets rotation players don't talk about martial arts in the fourth quarter. The Nuggets bench bandits, led by J.R. Smith and Linas Krise, played a bloody 33-13 in the fourth quarter. This created the record for the largest point difference in NBA playoff history, 58 points. In other words, only by the firepower of the starters, in fact, the Hornets lost by 38 points. It is precisely because the firepower of the Nuggets bench players is too fierce that the 58 was born. Today, the Lakers bench bandits also have the inner taste of the Denver Nuggets blood abuse wasp. In the yellow-green war, they had no intention of sparing their subordinates. Get ready to play. Watching the difference between the two sides widen one step closer, Logan took the initiative to get up and activated his shoulders. At the same time, he also noticed that the Celtics' young coach Stevens on the sidelines had an anxious face full of anxiety. But there is no egg use in being anxious. Murphy's theorem tells people, often, the less you want something to happen, the more likely it is that it will come true. Beep. Dead ball round with both sides substituting. The Celtics replaced the despondent rotation players and took the lifeless starting 5 Tigers. On the Lakers side, Logan took the lead. The cheers throughout the Staples Center exploded even more. Without Logan, the Lakers' lead has come to 36 points. If Logan comes back, will he pay it back? Beat. Boss, beat. Boss, beat. Boss. For a moment, all the Lakers fans stood up collectively, roaring and shouting uniform slogans. BOS is an abbreviation for Boston Celtics. As the Celtics shouted in the playoffs, beat. LA. Same. Now, it's the Lakers' turn to fight back. The Los Angeles Lakers are going to die today. The tragedy is inevitable. How many points will the Celtics lose to the Lakers? 40 points? 45 points? Or 50 points? The two commentators on the scene were deeply shocked by the atmosphere of the whole audience. It is worthy of the confrontation between yellow and green enemies. Lakers fans are hoping that the Celtics will crack. The atmosphere is set off here, and Logan certainly can't disappoint the Lakers fans on the scene. Back to the game. Logan defended the end of the basket under the side, and the nail plate big hat burst into the box for Thomas Jr. Pressing the basketball the rebound, Logan took possession of the ball and passed it to Russell on the other side. Immediately afterward, the Lakers collectively counterattacked the front court. Even Nance Jr. is much more aggressive than the Celtics' defensive players. Under Russell's fake pass of Ingram, real pass of Logan, the Lakers' number 7 stood up, the back buckle was empty, and the explosion frame scored. The difference between the two sides came to 38 points. 40 minutes away, just one step away. And the biggest point difference in the history of the Yellow-Green War, 1 point to equalize, 2 points to surpass. Sideline auditorium. Kobe, who has been calm, is a bit not calm. Don't forget. The Celtics were slaughtered by 39 points, and it was the Lakers led by Kobe. Now, the new Lakers led by Logan will have the opportunity to surpass the original 39 points and give the Celtics a greater shame. Let the Green Army be nailed forever to the pillar of shame in history. Calm? Inexistent. The mad slaughter continues. At the end of the half, the Lakers scored a staggering 72 points on their home field. Just let the Celtics score a pitiful 30 points. The 42-point halftime margin is not only the widest margin ever in the Yellow-Green War. It is also a record for the halftime point difference in the Yellow-Green War. It's worth mentioning that Logan has already scored 37 points in this game. He could well be the first Lakers player to score 40 points in a Yellow-Green game after Kobe Bryant. But compared to personal data, I am more concerned about how many points the Lakers can win this game. A score of 40 is no longer a problem. Is 45 points still far away? 45 points is only 3 points away. 50 points, really no joke. Even at halftime, the crazy Lakers fans are still roaring, "Beat Boss." Slogan. Staples away team locker room. The entire Celtics team had collapsed. It's not just the players and coaching staff that crash. The Celtic management in Boston also broke the defense collectively. Especially the team's general manager, Danny Ainge. He also met with Logan in the summer to try to sign Logan to fulfill the Celtic revival plan. As a result, both sides have now become old enemies. Under Logan's men, the Lakers also have to kill the Celtics. Be ruthless. This young man, the hand is really heavy. We're going to have to try to trade Isaiah Thomas alone, there's no way to compete with the Lakers. Equally. This game also shattered Danny Ainge's once conservative team-building ideas. Trading Pierce and Garnett in exchange for rookie dividends, why fight against the Lakers who have Logan? Thomas Jr. is not the cornerstone of the Celtics' future team. You have to find an opportunity to change the whole money. The shame left by Logan and the Lakers today, the Celtics will surely repay. However, today's shame may be a little too heavy. The halftime ended and the third quarter began. The Lakers side obviously has no intention of giving up. The atmosphere in the fans is like this. Can 42 points be done? Of course not. The Lakers, led by Logan, played a 9-0 shockwave at the beginning of the third quarter. At the same time that the difference between the two teams widened to 51 points, Coach Stevens on the sidelines directly signaled Jalen Brown to foul Logan and forcibly killed the ball and replaced all the main players. The end of the game is officially announced. However, this is only the end of the two sides of the victory and defeat, not the end of the game time. The Lakers' time to replace the main force is slightly later than the Celtics. The biggest point difference between the two teams was once close to 58. The point guard, who was also the head of a team in Los Angeles, shivered. Maybe Chris Paul didn't realize it. During the time he was training, what earth-shattering events happened in the NBA? By the way, Blake, the Lakers' recent momentum of the young man, may have to participate in a dunk contest. After a shiver, Paul spoke to Griffin next to him, "That kid named Logan, have you seen his dunk collection? Of course, the guy is really good at jumping and has a very good physical." Griffin dribbled with both hands and trained his sense of the ball, but on his own, the Lakers can't reach the Western Conference Finals earlier than we do. Since the Lakers officially left the championship battle, the Los Angeles Clippers have gradually become the strongest NBA team in Los Angeles. Reach the Western Conference Finals earlier than the Lakers, or even win the title. It has always been the goal of the entire Clippers team. I mean, if he plays in a dunk contest, do you think he can win the title? CP3 is clearly not interested in discussing topics related to the Western Conference Finals. That thing was the pain of his life. Who knows, it depends on what he thinks on the day of the dunk contest. Griffin thought for a moment, but seriously, I'm looking forward to Logan's performance in the dunk contest. His game highlights are already full of imagination. The Los Angeles Clippers are in the middle of a two-court conversation. The Staples Lane massacre is gradually coming to an end. Under the Celtics' early white flag, the Lakers once stretched the point difference to close to 58 points, but never really reached 58, or even surpassed. In the end, the Los Angeles Lakers blasted a new season-high 132 points at home. The game was 132-82, a net victory over the Celtics by a full 50 points. The biggest point difference record in the history of the Boston Celtics against the Los Angeles Lakers was born in the presence of Kobe Bryant and Magic Johnson. The young lads of the Los Angeles Lakers have forever engraved the nemesis of the Purple and Gold Army on the shame column of NBA history. The huge gap between the two teams is visible to the naked eye. Maybe from now on, every time the two sides fight, it will be a unilateral massacre of the Lakers. After tonight, there may be no more classic yellow-green wars in the Jianghu. Episode 68. The Boston Celtics will never win at Staples. We won them by 50 points. Dude, that's 50. Today is a one-sided massacre. The Celtics are too weak. No, it's not that the Celtics are too weak, it's that we're too strong. Logan is too strong. The whole game is over. Lakers fans at the Staples scene faced the interview camera and reveled with excitement. The feeling of winning the opponent by 50 points in the yellow-green battle. It was so cool. Lakers fans even feel that this feels like winning a championship. Of course, it is definitely more exciting to win the championship. It's hard to believe it's all true. At the same time, Celtics coach Stevens, who was interviewed by the media after the game, looked frustrated. We prepared well before the game. The coaching staff prepared a lot of tactics to deal with what could happen in the game. Stevens didn't go on. Like he said, able to complete the revenge against the Celtics as the manager of the team. And with a 50-point massacre, in turn, the Green Army was humiliated fiercely. How does this feel like a cool word? That's why I came to the scene to watch. Guys, Logan has a Mamba spirit in him. On the sidelines, Kobe, who was interviewed by the media after the game, was completely different from the calm before the game. The current flying man looks very excited. Apparently, he was also shocked by Rogan's performance of blood-abusing old enemies. If Kobe Bryant had considered making a comeback at this time, maybe he might have made a decision on the top. I'll take time to come back to Logan in the future. At the end of the interview, Kobe Bryant made it clear, I fell in love with this guy's game, and his way of playing is bloody. Logan is the strongest rookie I've ever seen. Even his own daughter has become Logan's little fan. Kobe Bryant still gave the young man the highest level of evaluation. The reporters at the scene were also very surprised. You know, with Kobe's personality, he rarely praises other players so bluntly. Logan's performance today is undoubtedly really conquering the strict predecessor. In fact, Logan didn't just help the team with 50 points today, creating the biggest point difference in the history of the Yellow-Green War. At the same time, he also scored 48 points. Become the first player since Kobe Bryant to score 48 points in the Yellow-Green War. His name will surely be recorded in the history of the Yellow and Green Wars. Today's game, Shaq, what do you think? Evening tea, NT Symposium. Before Kenny Smith could speak first, Charles Barkley came up and threw a question to the Sharks. The Lakers have won the Celtics by 50 points, which is big news. In fact, for ordinary people, the Lakers create the performance of the history of the Yellow-Green War. As long as they blow the Lakers and blow Logan, it is finished. Not to mention that Sharks are still famous for the Lakers, and it is natural to blow them. Skew. As a Rainbow Warrior, Shaquille O'Neal also spent time with the Celtics. And he retired at Celtics. Let him rate this game, apparently Fliggy online to make the Shark difficult. Kenny Smith smiled and looked at the two fat men next to him. Why should fat people be so hard for fat people? Cough, seriously, Charles, you're asking the right question. O'Neal wasn't a good stubble either. Since Barkley has made a move, he will take the move head-on. The first thing I want to say is, aside from my experience on both teams, Logan and his Lakers are doing a great job. They completed their revenge on the Celtics, and that 10-year title win wasn't enough. Some people may say, why can't they get revenge on the Celtics in the finals? What is revenge in the regular season? The Sharks sneered. What I'm trying to say here is that the Lakers may reach the finals in the next few seasons. Can the Celtics? They can't. Since you can't meet in the finals, is there any problem with completing your revenge in the regular season? So today, Logan did a great job. After the direct statement, the Sharks led the war directly to the Celtics management. The first person he dissed is the general manager of Boston Celtics, Danny Ainge. Look at what Danny Ainge has done all these years. He sent Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett away, and Ray Allen and Rajon Rondo out of Boston. What about the end result? Look at the Lakers again. They accompanied Kobe Bryant, my good brother, through the final battle of his career. Then, I found Logan and took the right path. This is the most essential difference between the two teams, the Celtics under Danny Ainge, only with the Lakers after the Logan, the gap is getting bigger and bigger. The yellow-green battle between the Lakers and the Celtics was gradually transformed into a fight against Danny Ainge. O'Neal's remarks were supported by a large number of fans on the internet. Since Danny Ainge came to power, the Boston Celtics have become an impersonal business team. For the future, abandon the team's 2008 championship veteran of the team. The players who have played for the team for many seasons and have worked hard are working boys who may sell at any time. This kind of impersonal team, being hung up by the Lakers, simply don't be too happy. Of course, single-handedly created a 50-point tragedy and made Celtic management the target of the party Rogan. I had already returned home, washed up, and slept soundly. The next day, Logan, who trains in the team to go if he wants to, sleeps until he wakes up naturally. After he had finished his breakfast, he received a call from his agent, Tyler Finson. The content of the phone is also very simple. The signing team sent by Adidas to Los Angeles will soon be on Rogan's doorstep. As far as I know, Adidas has prepared a 6-year, $125 million contract today. On the other end of the phone, Finson, who was driving to Logan's house, excitedly said, they came up with the highest level, biggest amount endorsement contract in the company's basketball history. Episode 69, like Tyler Finson said. Adidas' biggest contract in basketball is the shoe contract given to Rockets core, James Harden. After Harden left the Thunder, he gradually played the level of MVP. Adidas' annual salary of $14 million in endorsement fees is the third highest salary in the current league after Durant and James. But now, with Logan's performance in the NBA getting more and more explosive, his value has risen. Adidas came to Los Angeles with a quote contract that made the company's history. Under the leadership of Taylor Finson, the Adidas team came to Logan's residence. Nice to meet you, Rogan. As soon as he entered the door, the head of the Adidas team took the initiative to greet Rogan. I am Nathan Holmes, the operational director of the Americas of Adidas. I hope we can have a pleasant cooperation process today. Nathan Holmes handed his business card to Rogan. Rogan, Adidas has been waiting for you to join. Holmes is also a management talent specializing in this aspect of operation. After a few shortened conversations, Logan has been initially satisfied with Adidas' sincerity today. Maybe Taylor has already told you what kind of endorsement contract we will probably provide you. When the foreshadowing was done, Holmes went straight to the point. Rogan, before our plane lands at Los Angeles International Airport, we were on the plane, and we modified the contract, and the specific modification was the amount part. Just like Holmes said. Before flying to Los Angeles, Adidas gave Logan a 6-year, $125 million contract. This specific amount is the same as the information that Finson has. But just minutes before the plane landed, Holmes decided decisively to change the offer. The year of this endorsement contract was changed from 6 years to 7 years. Total endorsement fees increased from $125 million to $153 million. $153 million in 7 years. The average annual salary reached $21.85 million. This is the maximum price increase within the range of Adidas. Holmes apparently slapped the company's whole card directly in front of Logan. In addition, we will create a new signature sneaker for you, using our latest Boost technology. In terms of technology, Adidas is definitely a clear arrangement for Logan. The amount increases, the years increase, and the technology is full. Adidas' sincerity can be said to be overwhelming. I'll think about it and give you an answer within 3 days. Logan looked at the detailed gestures of Taylor Finson, but still did not make the decision at the first time. Mr. Nether Holmes, thank you very much Adidas for the importance he has given me. Please give me 3 days to think about it. Holmes was also a smart man. He knew very well that Rogan's operation was not dissatisfied with the price. But there will definitely be negotiations with other companies in the future. For example, the only one who can wrench the wrist with Adidas, Nike. For a player of Rogan's level, the first sneaker endorsement is also very important. Shop around, there is really no problem. I'm sure that in 3 days' time you'll give us a satisfactory answer, Rogan. Holmes did not delay Logan's time, leaving a spare contract and getting up to say goodbye to Logan. After sending off the Adidas team, Taylor Finson made another call. Logan, next is the Nike signing team. They made an appointment for many days, and I waited until you won the Celtics before I let them come over and talk about cooperation. Hanging up the phone, Finson smiled at Logan with a victorious smile. Adidas is the same, so their contract will be temporarily raised. Tyler Finson is certainly not an idiot. After such a while, he was well aware of Rogan's business value. After a battle of focus, his value will only be higher, not lower. As Rogan's agent, the more his guests earn, the more Finson earns. Naturally, he wanted to maximize Rogan's value and commercial value. However, what made Tyler Finson's jaw drop was this. Nike's signing team is actually the company's founder, Phil Knight himself. Adidas has taken it very seriously to bring the director of operations for the Americas forward. Nike's direct founder, plus chairman, parachuted into Los Angeles. From the surface of the row, Nike seems to have the upper hand. It's not just the noodles that have the upper hand. Since it was the company's chairman who personally came out, Phil Knight did not bring any of the contracts that had already been written. Luo, all the conditions, we can talk slowly. Phil Knight said directly, as long as you can sign with us, you can make reasonable requests to join the contract on the spot. Signature shall enter into force. This is the difference between Phil Knight and Nesser Holmes. Holmes's greatest authority is simply to modify the year and salary. The improvement is actually very limited. But Phil Knight is completely different. It was as if he were holding a blank check. How much does Logan want? Fill it out yourself. Tyler Finson was dumbfounded. Rao was mentally prepared for him. I was also shocked by the blank contract in front of me. For Rogan's sake, Nike is also open-minded. Phil Knight has his own reasons for this move. After Kobe Bryant's retirement, Nike's basketball shoe market instantly lacked a pillar of the year. Durant defected to the Warriors, leaving him in a sharp turn in the market. And, because of Durant's surrender, James's hope of defending his title is also extremely slim. No one knows how long the 30-year-old man can maintain his dominance in the alliance. Kyrie Irving and Paul George, the main focus is still on the low-end sneaker market. During this time, Nike is very urgent to find a superstar who can resist the pain period. And Rogan's appearance is simply a perfect fit for all Nike's requirements. Back to the big ball city of Los Angeles. Behind it is such a huge consumer market as the Heavenly Dynasty. The style of play is cool and there are many fans. Repeatedly breaking the dusty record for many years, daily domination of Twitter hot search, traffic explosion. What's more, Logan is only 19 years old and just a rookie. A supernova of this level, Nike could not have let him be signed by other competitors. A Stephen Curry put Under Armour at the top of the basketball market. Nike can't see the second story of Curry and Under Armour. Nor could he let Logan join his opponent, Adidas. That's why Phil Knight offered the blank check phone contract. Regardless of the conditions for the comeback. Rogan, Nike is signed. It's no secret that Adidas signing team just left, and they offered me a contract with an annual salary of not less than $20 million. I know what you mean, $20 million is your lowest value. Phil Knight did not hesitate. We offer you this contract, including a base salary of $20 million per year. Of course, the $20 million are pre-tax. Adidas is still offering a signed sneaker contract. That's not a problem, Rogan. Our company's plan is to create a new personal brand for you. Phil Knight is well prepared. Just like the Air Jordan series, we want to create your own brand for you. What are signature sneakers? Nike not only wants to launch signature shoes for Rogan, but also create a new personal brand for Rogan, and launch other clothing that is not only sneakers. Just like Patek Philippe wants to use Rogan's appeal plus influence in the young market to design a new young collection. Nike also aims at the young market and wants to use Rogan's traffic to create a trend culture that is more suitable for the needs of young people. Project X. Logan glanced at the draft plan that Phil Knight had handed over. There is a line of English written on the cover, which translates to mean, X Plan. Episode 70, Why it's called Plan X. Phil Knight's explanation is interesting. Nike has studied every signed player very carefully. Rogan's Chinese name, pronounced the same as Wolverine Logan in the X-Men. Even Nike consulted the translation of the Celestial Dynasty. Wolverine's translation Chinese is exactly the same as Rogan's name. So, they simply used the X-Men X to name Logan's brand. Turning to the cover, the first page of the proposal book is the X shape of a wolf's paw print. And every corner of X is like a number, 7. The number 7 is Logan's jersey number. X is the label of the brand. The wolf's claw represents Wolverine's mark, which is Logan. It has to be said that Nike gave Logan a draft of this logo design. The design language is already very clear. Nike is very precise in positioning the PX series. It is aimed at the young market and the trend market. In this X-Plan proposal, Nike provided several pairs of PX1 generation sneakers concept drawings. It's full of trendy elements and fashion labels. It's not just the exterior that's very innovative. In the PX1 generation of technology on board, Nike is also not ambiguous at all. Front and rear palm split zoom air cushion, large carbon plate in the middle sole, plus TPU hard plate on the heel. Nike gave Logan the technology of this original pair of combat boots, which is more luxurious than the AJ Jingdai. There is no doubt that they are hoping that Logan's original boots will be a blockbuster. Directly let the PX series become a new benchmark in sneaker culture. I have every confidence in your abilities, Logan. Phil Knight is confident, we provide the best products, and you are the best spokesperson. With your core performance, this pair of PX1 generations will have the potential to surpass the AJ1 and become the most successful product in the history of basketball shoes. AJ1 is the most successful pair of basketball shoes in the current basketball world. It's not even just a pair of sneakers, it's a cultural symbol. The PX series also has the potential to become a cultural symbol. Phil Knight has a lot of confidence in Logan. At the end of the proposal, Nike also marked the following. In addition to the $20 million pre-tax annual salary, Logan will also receive a 25% share of annual sales of all PX series products. And, with sales calculated on a pre-tax basis, Nike will help Logan pay California and federal taxes. To put it simply, if the pre-tax sales of the PX series are $100 million, then while Logan gets a basic salary of $20 million, he can also get $25 million in the hand. This is the endorsement of the annual salary of $45 million level. Of course, Nike does not feel that the PX series will achieve annual sales of more than $100 million. You know, the entire basketball market, only the AJ series, achieved the feat of breaking $100 million in sales in the new year. And this is still based on AJ's regular sneakers out of more than 20 generations. There are also various branch brands added together to achieve a breakthrough of $100 million. PX is just getting started, with the first generation of sneakers like breaking $100 million. It's too hard. Therefore, the big part of Logan's real contract is still that part of the basic salary. But, this is just Nike's unilateral idea. What Logan really values is the 25% share of the gains. The starting price of the PX1 generation is $299 knives. The initial sales volume is set at 150,000 pairs. In the later stage, we will increase the sales volume according to market demand. There are 2 first color matches, and the total number of sales has reached 300,000 pairs. If all these 300,000 pairs can be sold, the sales of the PX1 generation debut double color alone have reached an astonishing $89.7 million. Logan got 25% of the hand, which is $22.42 million. The share income even exceeds the contract base salary. Nike feels that the PX1 generation cannot sell out all 300,000 pairs. Logan doesn't think so. Please give me a day to think about it and I'll get back to you soon. Of course, while Nike's X plan is indeed tempting, Logan still routinely asked the other party to wait for his decision after consideration. But it is clear that the victory or defeat of this Logan sneaker endorsement battle is already clear at a glance. Adidas's offer is indeed sincere. They came up with the biggest basketball endorsement contract in the company's history. This is already a bold attempt and breakthrough. Regrettably, on boldness plus gambling, Nike is still more skilled. I think they gambled on Michael Jordan and achieved a salted fish turnover. This time the big gamble on Logan, the purpose is to consolidate his position as a brother in the basketball market. I booked my flight to Portland tomorrow night. Sending Phil Knight away, Taylor Finson said directly, tomorrow after you finish the game at Madison Square, we can fly directly to Portland. At Nike headquarters, complete the sneaker signing program with them. Tomorrow, the Lakers will travel to New York to play against the New York Knicks at Madison Garden. To end this focus of the Battle of New York, Logan could fly directly to Nike's headquarters in Portland. Visit a wave of Nike headquarters, and by the way, at the official press conference held by Nike, officially reach a signing plan with Nike. Obviously, it wasn't just Logan who had a decision in mind. Taylor Finson also helped his players early on and arranged the next series of trips. It's really you, Tyler. Patting Finson's shoulder, Logan smiled too. As an agent, I am still very good at things. It was on the 18th of Rogan's decision on his sneaker endorsement. The NBA also had a series of wonderful single-game shows. For example, Anthony Davis, the home shoe of the New Orleans Pelicans, finally briefly withdrew from the air-chopping group today. The thick eyebrow brother who won 38+9+6+4 led the team to victory over the Blazers and won the third victory of the team's season. As the son of the United States, the thick eyebrow data is still sharp, but the team's record is really ugly. Cosmic Courage also defeated a strong opponent today, winning the 10th victory of the season. With a record of 10 wins and 2 losses, the Warriors are second in the West, second only to the first place and the undefeated Lakers. Also clinging to the record are the San Antonio Spurs. Kawhi Leonard, 23+12, helped the team beat the Grizzlies. The Spurs are 10-3 and third in the West. Before the start of the game, the Western pattern in the fans' minds should be a super strong. That super league is the super team Golden State Warriors. How strong, of course, is talking about the Spurs, Clippers, Rockets, and other teams. But as the season unfolded, people unexpectedly found that the Los Angeles Lakers had become spoilers, and the Spurs were far stronger than people thought. The Warriors' run-in has made their dominance lower than people expect. The pattern of the West has actually become a three-legged trend. There's no doubt that this year's Western Conference playoffs will be intense. It's hard to imagine that the Warriors, the Spurs, and the Lakers, one of the teams, will miss the Western Conference Finals. ESPN Evening News. Stephen A. Smith smiled. Whichever of these three teams missed the Western Conference Finals, I feel sorry for them. Wait, Stephen, what did you just say? Opposite Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman interrupted his partner. Of the three teams you mentioned, is there a strange name mixed in? Los Angeles Lakers? Dude, are you kidding? I don't think the Lakers can be discussed on the same topic as the Warriors and the Spurs. Max Kellerman's point is straightforward. He feels that this year's West is not what fans call a three-legged stand. The pattern of the West is a struggle for hegemony. The Spurs and Warriors have locked up their Western Conference Finals rivalry early. Other teams, including the Lakers, who have not lost so far, will be a stepping stone on the road to promotion for both teams. I think you didn't wake up, Max. Stephen A. Smith is a loyal Logan fan. Who is the only team in the league so far who hasn't lost a game? Who is the number one record in the West so far? Who is the team that is now the number one team in the league? Tell me its name out loud, man. This team's name is the Los Angeles Lakers. Stephen A. Smith continued, look at what the 3-week player of the week in the West so far is called, Max. The Golden State Warriors and the San Antonio Spurs are indeed full of roots, but none of these two teams have won the Western Conference Weekly Award so far this season. Not a single one. Logan will be disrupting the situation in this year's Western Conference playoffs. The Los Angeles Lakers are definitely the disruptors of this season's pattern. While Smith isn't a Lakers fan, that doesn't stop him from being a Logan fan. Okay, Steven, none of us can convince anyone, so we might as well change to a more interesting topic. Max Kellerman decisively avoided Stephen A. Smith's gunpoint. Man, tomorrow, your favorite player is going to play against your favorite team. Do you think the New York Knicks are ready to deal with Logan?